NSFW, what sex advice do you wish you had known before your first time? Trim your nails, you barbarian. Also file them down a bit extra. If you stay in one position too long, your leg can cramp. I've never heard anyone describe their first time as too long. Mine was almost 2 hours. Turns out if you wrap your in plastic and stick it in it gets far less stimulation than no lube death grip fapping. Don't put the condom on too tight, leave a little space around the head. Otherwise there will be numbness and likelihood of breakage. Plus it gives the baby batter somewhere to go. Don't ever say the PLS. Don't try to imitate this. This needs to be the #1 thing to learn. It's acted out, it's exaggerated and emphasized for maximum effect. It is not the same as actual. But don't expect it to be like in any way. In GT, there are some things in which do happen in actual, like what? Women will sometimes spontaneously burst into tears after. They're not psycho for doing so, and you don't need to ghost them for it. This. I read all the comments looking for this one. I was sobbing after my first time. I was raised in a fairly religious home and was taught that you shouldn't have before marriage. I felt so disappointed in myself and was just crying the rest of the night, and the guy the first was with was so sweet and understanding. The next day I didn't care as much, and it hasn't bothered me since. The point of entry is closer to that than the pubic hair. It's lower than you think. It's lower than you think it is. It's lower than you think it is. It's also not that low. Be careful, because she's going to be very unhappy if you pick the wrong one. Just keep your eyes on the road. Oppa's about to lose his virginity. Yay. Or more likely about to crank one out. Women usually have fluid that acts as a cleaner, for their so just because she's wet doesn't mean you made her wet. Moral of the story, foreplay is important. Don't do it standing up if you have other options. It's okay to talk and be lighthearted with your SO through the whole experience. Movies tend to portray as silent and sultry, but I find that being more relaxed and communicative during leads to a better, more comfortable experience. As a girl, never felt much of a difference with the different types of condoms out there until Trojan Bearskin, Chef's Kiss. Then again, every VB different. Yeah, my snaps those like a wishbone skeptical smiley face. Lots of exercise and a good diet will help your erection stay really hard and last for longer. Can't emphasize this enough. During your body works really hard to keep your muscles moving, which requires blood, which will be taken away from your PP if your cardiovascular system is not quite fit. Plus it helps to be relaxed and attracted to the girl you're with. Edit. Is something you do with a woman. It's not something you do to her. Rebaby let me do to you. It can leave a lasting impact on both of you. Make smart choices. This should have more upvotes. Drink water, especially if you're drinking alcohol. Cramps during or a pain. If a condom is loose, it is too big, get a smaller one. If it is big enough to go over your balls, it is too big. Pee after. Always. It prevents UTIs, and trust me, they suck. My mom never mentioned it to me, Ed never told us. I learned from a much older female friend I almost got into a relationship with. So weird. I suffered from many UTIs until I learned. They are miserable, and sadly I am still prone to them if I leave a long relationship and switch things up. Can't recommend this enough. Took years and many UTIs to find this out. Even had my doctor wonder why I was getting them every few weeks. Soup. Foreplay is very important. Treat it like a marathon, not a sprint. Be proactive. Grab towels and wet wipes before you do the deed. Use a separate blanket or sheet so that the fun juices don't get on the bed sheets. FUNJUICE. Vsauce. Don't get blackout drunk beforehand. Got a girl pregnant once, blacked out. I don't even know how my worked. Usually stops working after 5 or 6 drinks. We both woke up naked. I'm interested to hear how this worked out in the end. It doesn't have to be a super serious deal. It's probably going to be awkward, embarrassing, and possibly funny, and that's all okay. If you're a guy, learn where the clitoris is before, and please, for the love of God, cut your fingernails. If you're a girl, move your hips. Shouldn't be happening to you. You should be more involved. Also, you don't need to be Olympians for your first time. Keep those positions very vanilla and basic. Again, if it's a girl first time, it's going to be painful because you're being stretched, and different positions like reverse cowgirl stretches you out even more. Good requires that everyone feels safe. You're probably not gonna be amazing your first time, so just enjoy it. Communication is the key. If you're the virgin, tell them and talk about how you want it to go. If they are, do the same and don't try to push any boundaries. I took a lady's virginity once. We went away for the weekend. We came up with a game plan concerning what she was comfortable doing. She let me know when she was ready to try and I initiated the encounter. She said that she enjoyed herself. Don't trust people when that say they want casual. It's never as casual as you think it will be. Yeah, always bring a tux. I turned up in sweatpants and a t-shirt. I looked such a fool. It's the journey, not the destination. If it feels good for both people, that's enough. If she stops moving completely, check for a pulse because she may be dead. But the air your experiences. Women also like hearing men moan. Don't be silent. If it feels good, say it. Do what I did and research the outa smiley face. We live in the information age. This was many years ago, but I got like 10 plus PDF copies of different pirated books on and read them all. I studied them like I had an upcoming exam, and I'm very happy with how my first time went. So far I've watched some animated clips of a Minecraft person and a creeper doing it together. Is that enough research? Holes and should have been labeled in a different order. He is really warm. Like way warmer than your hands or probably anything you've ever experienced before on your. This feels really good, so be prepared to handle that and not come right away. Funny no one else has mentioned this, because I've never seen anyone mention it, and boy was I surprised my first time. Tears of joy. That doing it in the front seat of a Toyota Corolla at the beach is not only uncomfortable, it is also messy. And if you're really lucky, when he goes to fling the used and kinda bloody condom out the window, it will drop and stick to the window halfway down. Not that I would know. Ha 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 ha. Jesus Christ LMFAO. You're allowed to say no. Most advice say that you should let her before you do. While true, mine, there are some who can get oversensitive really quick. In other words, after they had a good time, they have trouble going for round two. Lick it before you stick it. For those with, it's not supposed to hurt. All my life I was told that the first time would be painful, but if it hurts it just means you're not warmed up enough and you may need more lube. Also, don't use ribbed condoms because they will tear your vag up. Is always awkward. Please don't call attention to that. Cries and virgin. Hey sport, I know I'm not your real dad, but your mom thought you needed to talk, man to man. She said you're starting to notice girls, and your body's changing. I want to say that it's okay and normal. Wait, cartoon ponies. That's not as normal. I'm not really sure how to talk about that one yet. Let's stick with human girls for now, okay? Anyway, you might be curious about exploring your body, and maybe there's someone who you want to explore with together. It's okay if there isn't someone yet too. But whatever you do, we want you to be safe. So you have to understand, if your wiener goes into her vajayjay, she could have a baby. And there's diseases that you could catch. So buy a condom. Buy a couple. Practice putting one on your peen by yourself, because they don't do any good if they break. It has to be hard to work too. But there's more than just the physical stuff. I wish when I was your age my mom's boyfriend had told me that hookers won't kiss on the mouth, and they always try to rush you. You don't want that for your first time. So take your time, be safe, and never use your real name. Take your time and build the anticipation. I didn't know better and my partner went so fast, it left me super anxious and she seemed annoyed. Even though we tried, I can't say I officially lost my virginity. This whole experience really left a bad taste in my mouth, and I'm still feeling turned off 1000%, sad and disgusted. It's been a week and I'd say I'm having a hard time healing from this one. It'll get better. Try to find someone you feel comfortable with and enjoy yourself, smiley face. Women can, and should too. Latex allergy, had to find out the hard way. Recommendations is to check before then regret later. Does not equal what women like. Ask them what they want if you don't know what they want. ITT everyone assuming off is a dude. Your first session should not necessarily be penetrative. Learn good foreplay first so you're relaxed and well lubricated. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, and if you're not enjoying something, it's okay to say you want to stop or suggest doing something else. If your partner tries to insist that a specific act that you don't like is mandatory, or guilt trips you for not wanting to do it, time to find a new partner. Focus on the Don't tongue punch the hole. Pee is not stored in the balls. I just wish I hadn't taken the advice to heart to this extent. I had heard that I should prior to the act, so that I would last longer, since apparently everyone too fast their first time. So I did. Like 4 times. Before lunch. Meeting happens, we go all the way. We use a condom, which dampens the sensation even more. I start pounding. And pounding. And pounding. We swap positions after what feels like 15 minutes. And I keep pounding. Swap again. Keep pounding. Nothing happens. I could do this forever. After something like an hour, the girl tells me to stop because her hurts. Turns out she was finished 45 minutes ago. She was now bone dry and had basically gotten a friction burn. She had just been too polite to say anything. And now she was crying because she felt that she could not satisfy me and that there was something wrong with her. So all in all, the experience she got a burning and I was left thinking was super overrated, not even considering that I had masturbated myself into a state of zero sensation right before the attempt. Edit. Oh, and the girl came out as a few months later. I'd like to think I gave her such a sexual experience that she just switched teams. This story was so dark. For the love of God, make sure the condoms are within arm's reach. Practice with a blindfold if you must. If she says she's on the pill, assume she's lying. Don't fake it, you'll never stop. Are you a man or a woman? Because first time as a woman really hurts, so tell the guy to go very slowly and have a lot of foreplay beforehand. If you're a man, then I suggest telling her you're a virgin and take your time. You will probably very fast, but it's okay, it's your first time. The more you do it, the longer you will last.